Rohan always believed his real life would begin tomorrow. Tomorrow he would wake up early. Tomorrow he would start exercising. Tomorrow he would work on his dreams, read more books, learn new skills, and finally become the person he admired in others. Today, however, was always too soon or too tired. Rohan wasn't unsuccessful, but he wasn't fulfilled either. He worked a decent job, paid his bills, scrolled endlessly on his phone at night, and went to sleep with the same promise he had made for years. Tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow never came. It only arrived as another tada filled with excuses, distractions, and the comforting lie that there was still plenty of time. One rainy Monday morning, Rohan sat by his apartment window watching people rush to work. Some walked with determination, others with exhaustion, but all of them were moving somewhere. He, on the other hand, felt stuck, trapped in waiting mode, as if life were on pause until the right time appeared. He didn't know it yet, but that day would quietly change everything, not because of a dramatic event, but because of a small moment that planted a powerful idea. Change doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins in the smallest actions of today. That evening, Rohan visited a small neighborhood cafe he rarely noticed before. The power had gone out in his apartment, and he needed a place to sit. Inside the cafe, the lights were dim, and an old man sat alone near the counter, calmly sipping tea and writing in a worn notebook. Rohan ordered coffee and sat nearby, absent-mindedly scrolling through his phone. After a while, the old man looked up and smiled. He looked tired. His sighed mentally. Rohan shrugged. Just life, I guess. The old man chuckled. Life gets heavy when we keep carrying tomorrow on our shoulders. That sentence caught Rohan's attention. What do you mean? Rohan asked. The man closed his notebook. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they keep waiting for a future version of themselves to do the work. Intrigued, Rohan leaned forward. The old man introduced himself as Mr. Iyer, a retired schoolteacher. Over the next hour, he shared a story from his past. I once had a student, Mr. Iyer said. Brilliant, but lazy. He dreamed of becoming a writer. Every day, he said. Sir, one day I'll write a novel. Years passed. One day I asked him, have you written a single page? He said no. Not one. Mr. Iyer paused. Dreams don't die because of failure. They die because of delay. Those words hit Rohan hard. Mr. Iyer continued. I told him to write just one paragraph a day, not a chapter, not a masterpiece. Just one paragraph. He laughed at me. Said it was too small to matter. And did it? Rohan asked. Yes, Mr. Iyer smiled. One paragraph became one page. One page became a habit. 5 years later, he held his first book in his hands. Rohan felt something shift inside him. He realized his biggest mistake wasn't lack of discipline, it was underestimating the power of small actions. That night, instead of promising a perfect tomorrow, Rohan decided to try something different. He made a deal with himself. No big plans, no massive changes, just one small habit. The next morning, he woke up 10 minutes earlier. Not an hour, just 10 minutes. He used that time to stretch and breathe instead of checking his phone. It felt insignificant, but it felt doable. The next day, he repeated it. A week later, he added another small habit. Reading 2 pages of a book each night. Just 2. Some days he wanted to read more, but he stopped himself. The goal wasn't intensity. It was consistency. Slowly, something unexpected happened. Rohan began to trust himself months passed. Those tiny habits stacked quietly like bricks. 10 minutes of movement turned into 20. 2 pages. Turned into 10. He started writing just a few sentences a day. Nothing extraordinary, but it was real. There were days he failed. Days he skipped. But instead of quitting, he returned the next day without guilt. He learned that progress wasn't about perfection, it was about showing up again. One evening, while cleaning his desk, Rohan found an old notebook filled with abandoned plans and goals from years ago. For the first time, he didn't feel regret. He felt gratitude because now, instead of waiting for tomorrow, he was building today. 2 years later, Rohan stood in the same cafe. now brighter and renovated. Mr. Iyer wasn't there anymore. He'd moved to live with his children. But the lessons remained. Rohan's life hadn't transformed overnight. He wasn't famous or extraordinarily rich, but he was disciplined, confident, and deeply fulfilled. He had written hundreds of pages. He was healthier, calmer, and more focused. Most importantly, he no longer lived in waiting mode. He understood a truth most people miss. Your future is not created by dramatic decisions, but by the small things you do repeatedly when no one is watching. Rohan realized that tomorrow is a dangerous illusion. It convinces us that we have time, that change can wait, that effort can be postponed. But life doesn't reward intentions, it rewards action. Small daily habits may seem insignificant, but they are powerful because they bypass fear. They don't demand motivation, they build it. They don't overwhelm, they compound. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, stop. If you're waiting to feel ready, begin anyway. If you think your effort is too small to matter, remember, a drop fills the ocean, and a step begins the journey. Your life doesn't start tomorrow. It starts with the very next small thing you do today. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Start small, and start now.